Hello. Hello, everyone. Just going to give it a little bit more time. It's not quite 11 yet, just to get people on, let them come in. But I just want to let guys know I am here. And if you can see the screen, just please tap yes. Chat yes. Great, great, good. Okay, hello everyone. See, we have some more newcomers. I hope you can hear and see my video. And just before we get started, just if you can chat yes, just to let me know that you can see and hear just fine. And then we're going to get started. Great. Okay, Jay. Thank you so much. And let's just get started. It's 11:01, so let's be respectful of everyone's time. Good morning, everyone. It's Saturday morning, so I thank you guys for joining me. I hope you guys have had a good Friday evening and looking forward to the rest of a great weekend. So we are here at this free webinar and we're going to be talking about the 10 legal steps and procedures to take to protect your business and ensure success in 2017. What I would like for you to do now, if you can share our last post on Instagram, if that's where you found us at. That's the only place I've been promoting, but other people have been sharing. But if you can share wherever you've seen the advertisement and just repost it for us, just to invite others to join us, that will be great. Wonderful, especially if you know people that want to start their own business or other entrepreneurs, just invite them. Another thing too, if you're willing, if you want to use the hashtag Learn with a Biz Lawyer, and then once we're done with this webinar, I can go back and look on Instagram and see who posted there, and then we can, chat if you want to outside, or if you have any additional questions that maybe wasn't answered during a webinar, then it will be easy for me to find you. And then we can follow up from there. Okay. So that's hashtag Learn with the Biz Lawyer. And first things first, I am from Chicago. I am here in Chicago now, and I just like to know, where is everyone else tuning in from? Like, what city are you from, or where are you coming by way of? I'm sorry. So let me know in the chat, like, what city you represent. Be good to know, like, where everyone is calling in or tuning in from. Oh, okay, Atlanta. That is so wonderful. It's crazy because I hope to be moving to Atlanta very soon. So hopefully one day soon, Jay, we'll be neighbors. Anyone else want to share where they're from, where you guys are tuning in from? I see you on here, so it would be good to just get to know where you're from. Chicago. Hey, Stephanie, so good. So I have Chicago and Atlanta. I'm in Chicago, and I'm moving to Atlanta. So very good. Okay. Okay, moving along. It's fine. You don't want to tell us where you're from, but that's good. Okay, now who is the business owner in here? Let us know who actually owns their own business. And also, if you don't own your own business, if you aspire to be a business owner, let me know that too. Oh, okay. Great, Michelle. Michelle says she's driving right now in Corona, California, and stopped at a light. I hope I said that city right. I never heard of that. That's great. So we got California on the webinar. That's fun. I love LA. So that's wonderful. So, okay. And Michelle, I won't hold you to it because you're out and you're driving, and be safe. And, so I don't want you texting and driving. So I know if you're not, interacting, it's because you're driving. So be safe out there. Hello. I don't know how to say your name. Is it Neffy? Neffy? Maybe it's Neffy. Say yes if it's Neffy. Neffy? Maybe? Okay. But yes, Neffy is a business owner. And just tell me, like, what type of businesses do you guys own? Like, what industry are you in? That way, maybe going through, if I give examples, maybe, I can help and use you. Oh, Michelle, that's fine. Michelle said, please forgive me. I'm driving and listening, so won't be able to chime in as much. That is well okay. I completely understand. I appreciate it, and I want you to be safe. And I appreciate you just being on a call. So I completely understand. Oh, great, Neffy. I had it right the first time. So Neffy, like Keisha Cole's sister, Neffy. Okay, great. Okay, so tell me, guys, what type of business do you own? Okay, so it's an online business, social media, lifestyle. Okay, great. And Neffy, what city are you in? Oh, Jay. Okay, Jay owns an entertainment company, managed artists, record label, publishing company, and also a juice bar. Wow, Jay, you are doing a lot. That's interesting because I was going to ask you guys to please eliminate all your distractions. So, I would never tell anyone to turn off their phone, but, if you can just shut down like the social media and, you know, just give me a full and undivided attention. I will try not to keep you guys long. So, you know, if we can just, you know, pay attention, because I want to share awesome and great information with you guys. And I just want to say again, thank you for joining me on this Saturday call. And giving me your time at this moment. I know as entrepreneurs and as, you know, working people, we're busy and time is very precious and vulnerable. So I just want to say thank you for joining me. Today we'll cover basically how to protect yourself, and how to protect yourself, your business, and your brand, basically. Who am I? My name is Rosezena Pierce, and I am an attorney. And the reason I said that's so interesting, Jay, is because I represent entrepreneurs and entertainers. So the fact that you have an entertainment company is great, and you manage artists. Some of my clients are, a lot of my clients are rappers. So a lot of the entertainers that I represent is rappers. And now I have a couple of, well, not a couple. I have one reality star now. So that's fun. But yes, so music, the music industry is very near and dear to my heart. So that's good. So I'm happy to hear that you have joined us today. Michelle is also a real estate agent, and she's just 1 hour east of Los Angeles in Riverside County. So great. That's good. Los Angeles is so huge. It's so big. And every time I'm there, I just like picture Chicago. And the only difference, like, so I think of like Hollywood as being like Oak Park. Like that's what keeps me grounded. And so like Compton and all of that, that's like the south suburbs of Illinois. So that's how I think of it, because usually I stay in like Hollywood or West Hollywood when I'm there. And then I have a cousin who lives in Compton. So like just getting around the city is different. The weird part is on the east in Chicago, we have the lake, but on the west in LA is the ocean. So that's the only two differences. But that's how I get around LA. Just like, I'm like, okay, think about if you were in Chicago, which way you got to go. So that's good. That's fun. Yeah, we have a lot of realtors in the house. That's great. I mean, I tell people all the time, the best way to build wealth is through real estate, because you could touch it and you can feel it. So that's a good thing. And everybody always needs a place to stay. So that's wonderful. So please stay tuned to the very end. We have a special offer today that we would like to extend to you all for joining us on the webinar. Oh, Makita said that's how I divide New York. New York with all them boroughs, it can get crazy. But yeah, I guess so. But okay, so moving right into the webinar. We're talking about the 10 legal steps and procedures to take in order to protect your business and ensure success in 2017. Number one is to incorporate your business. So first thing first, in order to protect yourself, you want to incorporate your business. And what that means is you want to set up a legal entity with your Secretary of State or your State Department in order to separate your individual capacity from your business. And usually most small business owners, the option that they're using outside of like a partnership, like a limited partnership or something like that, is S-Corps or LLCs. And I will tell you, depending on what state you're in, will determine the difference between which one actually benefits you the best. So I'll just tell you, like for instance, in Illinois, the difference between an S-Corp and an LLC is the price, how much you actually have to spend to start it and to maintain it, and your mandatory record requirements. And we'll talk about the record keeping requirements next. But basically, under an S Corp, which is considered a corporation, you will have to keep corporate records, okay, in Illinois. But for LLC, that record keeping requirement is not mandatory by law. But as an attorney, I will advise my clients to keep them no matter what type of entity you have. And the reason is we incorporate our businesses for two reasons. One is for tax liability, for tax benefits. And the second one is to shield our individual self, to shield our individual capacity from being sued for the risk of liability of when you use this. So basically, those are the two differences. And we'll talk a little bit about like the S Corp. So first of all, with the S Corp, so it's basically a corporation with the state, but now you have elected a S status with the so that you can be taxed a certain type of way. And the certain type of way that you will be taxed under a S election is, say if you bring in $100,000 for the year, right? And usually you'll have to pay income tax on that $100,000. But if you elect to have an S Corp with the IRS, then what you can do is, say for instance, you are you're managing an artist, right? We'll just use Jay for example. You're managing an artist, and say the reasonable salary, because you have to determine what a reasonable salary is, and you want to stay within reason, or you will be subjecting yourself to be audited by the IRS. So say, just for example, a reasonable salary for managing artist day is a year. But in your management company, you brought in $100,000. But what you will do then is you will pay yourself $50,000 as a salary, and then you can pay, you can take deductions, and then the remainder or whatever is laid in dividends. And so that way your income is now $50,000 opposed to $100,000. Your tax rate will print on the remaining. That makes sense. You record requirement provides for a corporation. You still wanted to get that benefit tax, that salary tax that I just explained to you. Can you hear me now? Makita said your value cut out. Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Good. Let me know if it again. So just from there, if you don't have the same requirement, then you can elect status, a S status on your LLC as well with the IRS. With the IRS as well. I believe someone is raising their hand. You can ask your question in the chat box if that's okay. I think Naoki is raising her hand. So Naoki, are you okay? If you have a question, you can ask in the chat box, and I can see it as I'm talking to you guys. So just, put it in the chat. So basically, let me make sure everybody can hear me. I don't have any windows open. I'm sorry, guys. Let me just, that was an accident. Okay. Let me just make sure everything is like closed out. But I don't really have any windows open. But, okay. Just make sure nobody is on the internet in the house. Okay. Everybody okay now? We all good now? Okay, good. I don't know what that was, what was going on. But okay. So for the S code, we talked about you have that record keeping requirement with your state, and then you elect for the S status with the IRS. The unique thing about an LLC, though, and a lot of people don't know this, is that you can still elect to have that S election tax status and benefit and not have that record keeping requirement upon you. The thing is, you want to check with the CPA to see if that's good for you, because I know, like, if you had income property, like you had property, rental properties, it's always good to put that in an LLC. And the reason is because of the type of income that you get from rental properties. The IRS classifies that as a certain type of income where you'll get more benefits for that income in an LLC opposed to a S Corp. So you might not want to elect that S status if you had income property under your LLC. So it's always good to talk to a CPA and a lawyer when deciding on which corporate, which business entity you want to choose for your business, basically. So that's one thing. But then I talked about number 2 is legally maintaining your business. And so I talked about that record keeping requirement that the state requires you to do for a corporation. And it's called maintaining your business, basically. So basically what you have, like, examples of maintaining is, first and foremost, I think a lot of people, they file their business, they incorporate their business with the Secretary of State and think that's it. And maybe you file your annual report every year and you think you're good. Well, not necessarily. And the reason it's important to do your business maintenance, remember that second thing I talked about, which was you want to shield yourself, your individual self, from any type of liability, risk of being sued. Well, one of them able to do that. So if you just your business and you file the annual report every year and that's all you did, if someone wants, what they're going to do is try to pierce your corporate veil in order to get access to you as an individual as well. And I'll tell you how they'll try to do it and what you need to do to stop them. But I'll give you an example. So say you own, let's say, Jay, you own your entertainment company, right? And your entertainment company is worth about like $500,000. But then at the same time, you just had a rich aunt who died, and your rich aunt left you $30 million. But now you have this entertainment company and it's worth $500,000. And maybe one night under your entertainment company, your artist was out performing and something bad happened at the venue where he performed. And so now all the people that attended the concert now wants to sue your entertainment company for whatever took place. And once they hire their lawyer, the lawyer is going to look and say, oh, well, the entertainment company is only worth about $500,000, but the owner of the company is worth $30 million. Okay, how do we get to that $30 million opposed to this little $500,000? Because I got 30 clients suing her with a class action lawsuit. So what basically will protect you from getting to your 30 million is you have to set up 2 separate bank accounts for your business. One for, basically don't commingle your funds. Like don't commingle your personal funds with your business funds, basically. Second thing is you want to keep a corporate record book. Anytime you incorporate your business as corporate LLC, you want to get your corporate record book. This is actually required for the corporation in Illinois, and it may be required that you do this in your state as well. But basically, you want to get your corporate record book, and in your corporate record book, you want to at least, if you're the only owner, the sole owner, and you're like the only one that does pretty much everything, like you hold like the president, vice president, secretary, treasurer, positions, you want to at least make sure you're having an annual meeting, an annual corporate meeting, and you're recording whatever meeting took place. So like you're taking meeting minutes. And you might be like, well, Rosezena, that sounds crazy because it's just me. Like, who am I meeting with? Well, you're meeting with yourself to determine like what's going on with the business. How does it go? And you do this on an annual basis consistently. Now that's at least once a year. I would say, if you have the time, but if you have the time and it's more than just one of you, you want to meet at least once a month or every quarter and record the meeting minutes for each time you guys meet. Also, one way to an example of maintaining your business is by doing corporate resolutions. And what that means is anytime you hire someone or you fire someone or you apply for a loan or you purchase like some expensive equipment or something, you want to note that in your corporate resolutions. It's basically keeping a track of all the corporate actions, and you want to put that in your corporate book. You want to file away your annual reports. You want to file away the minute meetings. So this way, now you have this class action lawsuit against you, and these people are now trying to get to that 30 million in your individual capacity. But now you can go into court and you can be like, no, Your Honor, I did everything I was supposed to do to maintain as a corporation. And those people, they didn't come to the concert based on me. They came based on my company. And so my company is the only one here who is exposed to the liability and the risk that the court shall find that, that the business is held accountable for. But if you don't do any of that and you're like mixing your personal funds with your business funds and you don't hold any meetings and you're not taking any corporate resolutions, then you don't look like a corporation. You look like you run just your business with a extra name attached to it. So you don't want them to be able to come after you in your individual capacity. And it may not even be on a scale as grand as you own $30 million. But if your home is in your name or your car is in your name, that whatever someone is suing you for in your business, if they can pierce that corporate veil, like LaShonda is saying, so she says, so true, you don't want to pierce the corporate veil. If they pierce that corporate veil, now they can come after your house that is in your name, which I will advise that you shouldn't have your home in your name as a lawyer, but that's something totally a different subject. Your car, anything that you hold personally for yourself, they can come after of it. So you want to be careful, and you want to be able to make sure that you are maintaining as a corporation. And we just talked about why it's important, so people can't attack you in your individual capacity. Number 3 is protect your brand. Protect your brand. So when we talk about protecting your brand, we're talking about using intellectual property law to protect your brand. So basically, there are 4 different types of intellectual property. We'll only cover one in detail today, but I will go through really quick and tell you what they are and their differences. So number 1 is copyright law. So copyright law is to have a creative idea fixed into a tangible medium. So what does that mean? That means that you have like creative expression. So like a poem, but so it's out of your head into a poem. That's the tangible medium, the fixed into a tangible medium. You have a book, maybe a song, a movie, a play, dance choreographics. So that's considered a copyright, and that's when copyright law is effective to protect that. A painting, a picture. And then a patent is actually when you create something that's an invention that is novel and new to the world. And so now you're able to get a patent on it. So it pretty much uncovers inventions. And then the third one that people tend to forget about is a trade secret. So a lot of people don't know, because you don't really have to file a trade secret with any type of government or anything like that. But as long as it has value in it and you take reasonable measures to actually protect it, you have a trade secret. So for instance, if you actually like Coca-Cola formula, that's a trade secret. So if you have this famous recipe, like KFC chicken recipe, that's a trade secret. But you have to take reasonable measures to protect it. So how do you take a reasonable measure to protect it? The reasonable measure you will take is having someone sign a non-disclosure agreement or agreement. LaShonda say, what about brand colors or taglines? That's actually covered in our 4th form of intellectual property, which we'll get into right after trade secret. But I just want to also share with you guys that a client list or a customer list can be viewed as a trade secret. And the reason is, if you have clients or you have customers and you actually can make a lot of money, like your client list and your customer list holds value. Like if your competitors get a hold to that, they can like blow you out the water. That's a trade secret. So what do you have to do to make it a trade secret? You have to keep it a secret. One, you have to actually, maybe contain it in a database where there's passwords where you have to access it. And, if you're sharing it with your employees that's helping you build your business, you want to have them sign those non-disclosure agreements and the non-compete agreements. But now the 4th one is a trademark. And that's the one that is really near and dear to my heart. And that's where I come in at. That's what, I do a lot of. And so a trademark actually comes in 4 different components. It either comes in a word or words. It comes in as a logo or symbol. Number 3, like it's a slogan or a phrase. And then the 4th one is the sound. And yes, LaShonda said, oh, wow, is that because it's marketable? And I'm only repeating this because if we have to provide someone with a replay, they know the questions that's being asked. But yes, a trademark is a source identifier for products and services in the marketplace. So yes, they are, so you have to be utilizing it in the marketplace and it has to be available for consumers. Now, I will give you an example. So Nike actually has 3 out of the 4 that I just named as far as the words, a logo or a slogan. I'm sorry, a logo, a symbol, and then a slogan, and then a sound. So Nike, Nike, that's a trademark, right? And Nike makes a lot of money off of that trademark. And then the swoosh symbol, which is their logo, that's also considered a trademark. And then Just Do It is a slogan, which is also considered Nike's trademark. So that's 3 trademarks, different trademarks that they have. And then the sound, so like the NBC charm, that is considered a trademark as well. And because we have Jay, I just love to like speak to people industry. So kind of like with the Future and designer battle, I always thought it was creative when Future was like, dude stole my sound. Because honestly, that Panda song, I thought that was Future for a long time. And a lot of people did, because you can go to YouTube and be like Future Panda and it'll come up like Future Panda. Then I think one even had like designer feature and Future. So I thought it was kind of like a DJ Khaled situation where designer produced it, but Future was rapping on it. You know, as a lawyer, you think of all these strategies when people are going through some certain things. You guys can't hear again? Oh my God. Okay, let me turn off. Can you hear me now? Everyone? Okay, great. Okay, good. Okay. So I was just talking about Future and designer, so nothing really important because he didn't pursue it. So basically once you have a trademark, well, first of all, I don't even really think I touched upon it. So you want to protect your brand, because if you build a brand, you want to protect it. And the reasons you want to protect it is because you want to have ownership to it, first of all, and registration gives you ownership to your brand, basically, once you register your trademark and it's granted. Also, it's a way to stop copycatters from copying you. It's also a way to set yourself apart from your competitors. So is the example like, Nike sells shoes, Reebok sells, Adidas sells shoes, but it's those brand identifiers that tells us if we're buying a Nike or if we're buying a Reebok or if we're buying, Adidas. Just kind of like right, right, and got some. They go to India, out there they sell China, and they pick up it's hand picked. Or you may have some that ordering hair, which maybe is not a bad thing, but maybe they can't get as good quality. And say if you have let's see, Get Your Life hair brand, and Get Your Life hair brand, hold on one second. Okay. No sound. Let me put these headphones in. This is crazy. Hello? Can you guys hear me now? Okay, I just put my headphones in, so maybe this will be better. Does this sound better now? And I apologize for all of this. It's crazy. I know. Okay, so say you have Get Your Life hair brand, and Get Your Life, there's one where life is spelled with the I, right? And then you have another one where the life is spelled with a Y, right? And so then I'm telling Makita, like, Get Your Life hair brand, girl, that's the best hair out here. Go get you some of that hair. Whatever. I'm like, I don't really they website, just Google it and look it up. And so I'm talking about Get Your Life hair brand with the Y, but Makita Googles it and the one with the I comes up, and then she orders it thinking she's ordering from the one with the Y when she's ordering from the one with the I. And then the hair she get is both like terrible. And she like, this hair is garbage. It shows on Yelp, this hair is terrible. I'm my friend get this hair, and I'm gonna tell Rosezena she crazy for telling me to get this hair. So if your wife hair brand with the Y, that just killed like a lot of your business right there, because now you have this company out there that's confusingly similar to your company, and they also selling a terrible. So it's affecting not only your goodwill of your company, but now it's affecting your money too. So, but if you don't have trademark registration, you can actually, I'm laughing because LaShonda said, catch me outside. I'll back that recommendation, LOL. I thought she was gonna say catch me outside. That little girl just been everywhere. But anyway, you can but if you have registration, you can actually send these people a cease and desist letter to shut them down. It's ways as an attorney, we can do things and have them basically shut down their website, and things like that without even having to go to court. Registration. And if they came and they popped up on Instagram 2 months after you popped up, after you've been on Instagram, we can even get them taken down from there. So that's why it's important, number 4, to monitor your trademark once you have registration, to make sure that no one else out there is using your trademark and actually confusing your possible consumers, your potential consumers, or your customers. And ways to monitor your trademark is, every now and then check in on Google, and see like what comes up. Hopefully everything coming up is your stuff. Also check in with social media and just see like if somebody's, then popped up a page with your brand or something similar. It don't have to be the same, but if it's similar and they're doing the same thing you're doing, now it's a difference like with Mac computer products and Mac makeup. They can coexist because they're in 2 different trades of channel. And we all know Mac makeup is totally separate from Mac computers because they're just 2 different things. Like one is a beauty product and one is an electronic product. So you can coexist like that. But if someone came up with BAC, and then Mac makeup, and they got that same color black, branding colors that Mac use, and the same color, the same type of font, that's confusingly similar. Wait, is Mac doing a BAC campaign, or anything? So yeah, let's see. Let's try to say, what about the sites that say register hashtags? Are those legit? I never seen any sites like that, but one thing I would tell you is be careful with all of these different sites popping up. If you're not dealing, and we can talk about that really quick. If you're not dealing with the government directly, then don't register your stuff through anything. One thing I would say, like people use like LegalZoom and Trademarkia, and I guess that's cool if you like just giving your money to like a middleman or a third party, because they really don't give you any value outside of taking your information that you plugged in and transferring it over to the USPTO. And if that's the case, if you want to kind of do it yourself, you can just go and do that yourself and save whatever little money they're charging you. But, you know, as lawyers, we're going to actually do a preliminary knockout search for you to see if the trademark is actually available, or we're going to see if it's not available, like what are alternatives. We're going to guide you. We're going to counsel you before you even file that application. And then if something comes back in the USPTO, the government says that the trademark is confusingly similar to another registration, we're gonna get you through that process. And usually, to be honest, that kind of should be pointed out before you actually register the trademark. Like I have a client now, and we're fighting for registration because the government said it was confusingly similar. But guess what? I told him he may have this issue that it will be confusingly similar before we even filed, because I seen the possibility because I did the preliminary knockout search. But because my client has so much invested in the brand and we have a good argument to why he should have registration and why it's not confusingly similar, he was prepared for that fight before it even came, because I was able to advise him and counsel him, like something that like a LegalZoom or a trade market just wouldn't do to you unless you paid them more money. And then at that point, it's just, you could have just went and hired your own attorney and built the relationship with your attorney that's going to take you from A all the way to Z, opposed to going through LegalZoom, who's going to have one person talk to you this time and then another person talk to you that time and then another person talk to you. So that's the difference. And also, once you register your trademark, you're going to also get all of these like spam letters, all of these spam mailings saying you need to pay this amount for this, you need to pay this amount for that. All of that is like fraudulent spam, crazy crap. So don't get upset. I have so many clients contacting me once they get those, like, what is this they talking about? I'm like, calm down. That's somebody just trying to steal some money. So yeah, be careful about those. But the best source as far as sites is the USPTO. Now, if you want to register a hashtag, it's pretty much the same thing of going through the process to see if there's anything confusingly similar out there, or if you have a good trademark. In order to qualify for a good trademark, you want to actually use a brand, or you want to create a trademark that's very unique and not generic and not descriptive. So generic would be like if you were selling tissue and you said your trademark was tissue. Well, no, it's not, because that's what the product is. That's generic. Like it's tissue. So, or if you like, I sell paper. Yeah, but what's your trademark? But if you said something like Angel Soft tissue, now you have a trademark, because now that's different. That's unique. Or Charmin's tissue, that's different. Now, and the trademark the office will always have you disclaim like the generic term. So if I went for a trademark for Angel Soft tissue, my trademark as a whole will be Angel Soft tissue, but because tissue is generic, I will have to disclaim that, and I can't hold rights and claim over that generic term. And like something as far as descriptive is, if you had an interior decorating company and you wanted to trademark interior decorate, well, you can't do that because that's just too descriptive. That's just too plain. And you shouldn't be able to limit other people from using interior decorate. But now you come up with something, say, luxury and golden interior decorating, and you want to trademark that. That's not unique. But that's the best thing I come up with right now. Everything like is gold and white in my house. So that's what I came up with. But you'll as a whole, you'll have, well, let's say Lux and golden interior decorating. You'll have Lux and golden interior decorating as a trademark as a whole, but you'll have to disclaim interior decorating because you can't limit others from using interior decorating. So that's just a process of how you figure it out. So monitor your trademarks. Another thing we do, let me just go back. I messed up really quick. So when the trademark office actually register your trademark, they will well, what they'll do is they'll say, okay, we don't see any problems with this trademark. Um, Once they process your application, and what will happen is they will say, being that we don't see anything wrong with your trademark, through the process, they're actually going to publish on what is called the official gazette. And that's where the public will have the opportunity to oppose your registration. So the public has 30 days from publication to oppose the registration. So on the flip side, if you are a trademark owner and you have a registered trademark, and let's say your trademark is, let's see, Life Entertainment Company. And so, but your life is with a Y and you have registered trademark. And then the USPTO pushed through Life Entertainment Company with the I, and they publish it on the official gazette. So being that you're monitoring your trademarks, you're looking at this publication. Usually people hire attorneys like myself to do it for them. And we have what we call a watch service to do it. But what happens is you you will be able to see that, okay, they're going to allow Life Entertainment with the I to be registered, but that's confusingly similar to mine with the Y. And usually the trademark office will not let something like this example go through. But just for the sake of an example, so what you'll do is say, okay, well, I'm going to oppose that. And you have 30 days to oppose their registration. And if you miss that window, you do have up to 5 years to contest their registration, but contesting a registration is much harder and more expensive than to oppose somebody before they actually get registration. So that's why it's just important to monitor your trademarks as well. And you never want to allow someone to you never want to allow someone to continuously infringe on your trademark, because if you do nothing and you sit there, it's almost like, okay, well, you consented to their use, and then you will lose your rights basically to fight against them, to stop from using it. Moving along, number 5 is solidify your business with written agreements. This is so important. So we talked about protecting yourself by incorporating your business. And just send me a chat, just letting me know you guys are still with me. And you guys are, you're with and everything I'm talking about. Or if you don't understand, you'll leave and you hear me. Just send me a real quick chat. Let me know you're still there. I didn't lose you. You guys with me? I wonder if there's a lag in here. Hello, guys. Can you hear me now? I am so sorry. This is.
Hello?
Hello.
Okay. Oh, you're on the webinar calling me.